of Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, a decorated combat medic who died from a rare form of lung cancer. The Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, honoring our promise to address Comprehensive Toxic Act, or PACT, is best described as a healthcare expansion that promises to bring over $280 billion in funds for veterans that served in the Gulf Wars in the 1990s or in the wars that followed 9/11. It addresses victims of burn pits, which were disposal sites in active combat zones where various plastics, metals, and liquid waste were deposited and burned in close proximity to where troops and civilian contractors lived and worked, exposing them to toxic fumes and ashes for months at a time. For a long period, the Veteran Administration, VA, denied claims for respiratory illnesses, and rare cancers from individuals who served under these conditions as a matter of bureaucratic procedure, leaving many veterans without medical care for these ailments and with no disability compensation for them or their surviving dependents. PACT creates screening mechanisms for those individuals and extends their filing period, reducing some of the bureaucratic hurdles. It also creates a network of specialized care for these complicated conditions, many of which involve respiratory issues which affect every aspect of life. It is a victory for veterans who up until now had the arduous task of proving their conditions or illness as being a result of service-connected exposure to toxic substances or environments. This was difficult to do because many veterans were not aware of what materials were being deposited into burn pits, even the ones in the line of duty. This new bill creates presumptive conditions, meaning that veterans need only prove that they have a diagnosis of an illness covered under the bill and that they serve in one of the locations covered under the bill. So what does it cover? There are 23 conditions covered under the PACT. In summary, head cancer, neck cancer, respiratory, gastrointestinal, reproductive, lymphoma, lymphomatic, kidney, brain, and pancreatic cancer, melanoma, chronic bronchitis, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, among others. The bill should alleviate some of the evidentiary burdens many veterans, veteran service members, and lawmakers or lawyers have to overcome when seeking disability benefits. For these servicemen who may not have clear physical injuries from battle and combat, but suffer from long-term and often mortal conditions. This bill is also a victory for Joe Biden personally and his son Beau, a former Army lawyer who died of brain cancer in 2015 at just 46 years old after having served in a Middle Eastern base with a burn pit. Biden has publicly noted his uncertainty about the relation between burn pits and Beau's death. As he puts it in the State of the Union speech, "I don't know for sure if the burn pits that had lived near his hoosh was near in Iraq and earlier than that in Kosovo is the cause of his brain cancer and the disease of so many other troops." But Biden occasionally lets slip what he says privately, that he believes burn pit exposure was the cause. As far as the political background, the PACT Act passed the Senate 86-11. All of the no votes were Mitt Romney of Utah, Rand Paul of Kentucky, Mike Crapo of Idaho, James Lankford of Oklahoma, Mike Lee of Utah, Cynthia Lumens of Wyoming, Richard Rich of Idaho, Richard Shelby of Alabama, Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, Tommy Tupperville of Alabama, and Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Ultimately, the effects of the bill will remain to be unseen, as we must wait for the VA to put into effect what the bill commands and the compensation to start flowing. But overall, the bill is a shining example of bipartisanship between Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, the House and the Senate, and the executive and the legislature. So why you should care? The PACT Act not only takes care of veterans, but it takes care of families scared of the future of their loved ones. The PACT Act takes care of those people who for such a long time were suffering the effects of war, mentally and physically, and extending that suffering to their families and loved ones. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends. Also consider contributing to the channel store to make this channel grow and to make other videos such as this one. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.